What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Predictions in the building. I haven't done a video like this in a minute where I show my face and I do the predictions, but I'm crushing for time right now. I would love to do like a breakdown of all these fights, but I'm trying to get this done pretty quick. Um, I don't know what the main card is yet, but there are some fights that were rumored to be in the main card. I'm just gonna read them out. You got and I am gonna be talking about the Derek Brunson Edmen Shahbazyan card if I did not say that in the beginning. But I'll be talking about the first fight. Ed Herman versus Gerald. Meerschaert. Man, this is a good fucking fight, man. I love that fight. Ed Herman's on a 3-fight win streak. I think coming off a knockout victory over Patrick Cummings, and he beat that one Russian kid. I forgot his name. But yeah, he looked pretty good in that fight. You know, Ed Herman is one of those guys that he Muay Thai, clinch work, really really good. Has a really good overhook and underhook to knee combination. Does a lot of good things in the clinch. Gerald Meerschaert is another guy, really good. He is coming off a knockout loss to Ian Heinisch, but good fighter. I'd say good grappling skills. He did impress me in his win over Deron Winn. I did not think he was going to beat Deron Winn. He showed a lot of skills. He showed a lot of his experience in the game. It's like 35 or 31 wins or something like that. But I'm going to be going at Herman, though. I think the clinch work and what he can do. And, Gerald has an acceptance to be in the clinch. So I think that's going to hurt Gerald Meerschaert. And I think Ed Herman's going to get the W. Next fight, Kevin Holland versus Trevin Giles. This is a really fun fight. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna go Kevin Holland. Trevin Giles did not look good in his last fight. I thought he lost to James Krause. James Krause is a smaller guy. He normally fights at welterweight. Kevin Holland looks like he's special. He has wins over what's the guy's name? Hands of Steels. What's his name? Jeff O'Neal. Yeah, that guy. The guy everyone's calling a dark horse. Kevin Holland destroyed him. I forgot what amateur league they were in, but you can search up the fight on YouTube. It's on there. But yeah, Kevin Holland, I'm going with him. Next fight, Lando Vannata versus Bobby Green. Good fight. Lando Vannata's coming off a loss to Mark Dukeski. Bobby Green's coming off a victory over Clay Guida. That was a good fight with Clay Guida. I low-key wanted them to run that back. That's how fun that fight was. But Lando Vannata is special, man. He can do some crazy shit in there. Bobby Green has pretty good hands, has good head movement, but is a little one-dimensional, I'd say. The funny thing is, he is a wrestler. He did wrestle a while back, but he's a striker, so it is what it is. But I'm gonna be going Lando Vannata on that one, and I think he's gonna beat him in there. Next fight, Vicente Luque versus Randy Brown. This is a fucking amazing fight, guys. Amazing fight. I love this fight. Randy Brown's coming off the win to Warley Alvarez. Vicente Luque is coming off a win to Nico Price in a rematch. Those guys. Oh man, those guys are. It takes two to tango, man, and you always need that dance partner. And Nico Price is Vicente Luque's dance partner, man. They had a great fight. Vicente always has great fights with everybody. And I think this is a good fight. Randy Brown is a good fighter. I know a lot of people are kind of picking against him because he lost, Nico Price. But, he got caught in a really bad position and got hit with some fucking hammers on his goddamn chin. So, it is what it is. But, I don't know, man. This is an interesting fight. I like the fight a lot. But I'm gonna go Vicente Luque. But the thing with Randy Brown, can he really do is watch that Leon Edwards fight, man. Leon Edwards, he's a really good boxer. Has really good hands, has really good Muay Thai, has really good clinch work, but he's very versatile. So I think he looked at that fight, was like, man, he could go to war with Vicente and he could probably win. But he was able to mix in some takedowns in that fight. And I think if Randy could do that, he might win a decision. But Vicente is a finisher, man. Like another fight, his fight with Brian Barberena, that fight was insanity. It's crazy, man. Those guys are warriors, man. But yeah, I'm gonna be going Vicente Luque to win that fight. Next fight, Joanne Calderwood versus Jennifer Maia. Man, interesting fight. I like the fight a lot. Um, it's funny that Joanne's taking this fight, and if you guys are like know about some of the Twitter beef between Ali and Ariel Helwani, they were Ali was mad that Ariel suggested that Gilbert Burns and Leon Edwards should fight for the number one contender because they both deserve a spot to fight Kumar Usman, and Usman's going to be out for a little bit, so he was like they should fight. Ali got pissed off because I would be pissed off too a little bit because it's like, oh, you're trying to screw my guy over. He already has like marquee wins over Woodley and Damian Maia. Why does he need to fight Leon Edwards? Like, it's only for Leon Edwards, like Gilbert Burns he doesn't need it. He's been promised a title shot. Why should he fight? But I understand from Ariel's perspective, like, he wants Leon to get a shot. But Ali was like, nah, we're not, any dominance member is not talking to Ariel Helwani or ESPN or whatever. But then Ariel tweets this thing about Joanne Calderwood coming in 2 weeks, I think a 2-week late replacement to go fight Jennifer Maia, and be like, you see, Joanne Calderwood had a title shot and she's fighting, and it's pretty funny that he said that. I thought that was, Ariel's a pretty funny guy, I'd say. But this fight's it's a dangerous fight for Joanne, man. She's putting her title shot on the line, man. Cynthia Calvillo looked really good against what's the girl's name? Jessica Ai. Oh my god, I almost forgot her name. She looked really good against Jessica Ai, and she might be giving up her title shot if she loses this. So I'm gonna go Joanne Calderwood, but this is a dangerous fight for her. I think she should win this. I think she's just better than her overall. Nothing against Jennifer Maia, but I'm gonna go Joanne Calderwood. But main event. This is 3 rounds though. This kind of pissed me off. It was supposed to be Irina Aldana and Holly Holm. I was really hyped up for that fight. But Derek Brunson versus Edmen Shahbazyan. This is an awesome fight. Both guys have a lot to prove in this fight. Edmen Shahbazyan is obviously coming from the camp where Ronda Rousey came from. She's coached, by the famous Edmen. They make fun of him a lot. A lot of guys have come from there. I think Shayna Baszler, Travis Brown has trained there. So some decent guys. But, the thing about that gym, and I get that coach, they lost a lot of credibility after, like, 2015 and 16. And, certain things he was saying, everything was adding up that he, the coach could beat Jose Aldo in the way, Ronda was performing and the way Travis Brown was performing. When you lose, you got to blame somebody. And when you win, they give the coaches credit. So it's kind of fair. But he got blamed a lot. And it almost like it was a minute since we've seen this guy and, his team and any of these people mentioned in a minute. And then Edmen comes out of nowhere. Edmen Shahbazyan, I'm talking about, comes out and has these stellar performances. And I'm like, who is this kid? Has an awesome nickname. And I mean, when he fought Brad Tavares, I didn't think he was going to do that to Brad. I was like, I don't know. Like, I seen the kid and I was like, they were talking about him, but I didn't think he could do that to Tavares. And he fucking super kicked Tavares. And that was amazing. I was thoroughly impressed with him. And I remember I seen this little video about him, and he's fighting for a lot of things. He's fighting to to get some respect back for his gym and his coach, and how the kid's been doing martial arts his whole life, and he's been living up to this moment, and he has a lot of hype on him. A lot of people think he's the guy to contend and fight for that title. He has Ronda Rousey as his manager, and she's saying stuff like this is gonna be a future champion, right? And he has a lot to fight for, but he's also fighting a guy like Derek Brunson, who was in a similar position as this kid, hyped up, Division II All-American. A lot of people thought he was gonna be great. Heavy hands, did really good against Yoel Romero. Then he fought Robert Whittaker, didn't do too well. But then after Robert Whittaker, goes on a 3-fight win streak, knocks out Daniel Kelly, Uriah Hall, and Lyoto Machida. So you're like, oh, Derek Brunson might be the guy. But then, he had a gym in Charlotte that he opened up, and obviously they weren't training him properly. If you look at the way he fucking fights and throws his hands, he fucking throws punches like he's in the fucking hood, And when he fought Jacare put him back in his goddamn place. and then he fought Israel Adesanya, and he also got put back in his fucking place. So those were 2 bad losses for him, and then he got ordained as a gatekeeper. But there's one thing I liked about Derek Brunson. I don't know if he made an official move, but he started training at Hard Knocks. He started training guys with, like, at the time, Luke Rockhold was training there, Kumar Usman, Michael Johnson trains. A lot of good guys train there. And awesome coach in Henry Hoof. And he also proved a lot in his Elias Theodore fight and his Ian Heinisch fight and what he's fighting for. He's fighting for some respect back for his career. This is a guy. How old is Derek Brunson? He's 36. All right. This is a guy that I've seen Tyron Woodley win titles a lot older, so I'll say that. It's not. I was surprised when I seen 36, but this is a guy in Derek Brunson at the age of 36 that might be on his last run into the top 5. And he wants to get there. He's had what? Was it 2? Yeah, 2 main event opportunities. One against Machida, another one against Jacare. If he loses this, I think it might be over. But I like him training with Henry Hoof. I don't know how good this kid Edmen Shahbazyan. I like what he's fighting for. It looks like he's motivated, but I think Derek Brunson wants it more. I think his wrestling is decent. I don't think it's great. I think it's decent. I don't think Edmonds fought anything like that, or dealt with anything like that, and this is a good test. I think a lot of people are hating on him, and I think Derek Brunson proved a lot in his Ian Heinisch fight, because when he fought Israel Adesanya, he wasn't setting up his strikes properly, in that fight. And in the Ian Heinisch fight, he did it. Like, he was setting up his shots for his takedowns, and I seen improvement. So I'm going to be going Derek Brunson based on the wrestling advantage. I think he's going to get it done by decision. I could see Edmund knocking him out. I have been impressed, but Derek Brunson isn't no fucking pushover. He isn't no goddamn bum. Like, he wants it just as bad as Edmund. So I'm going to go Derek Brunson. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Tell me if you would rather see more of this kind of stuff, me just talking to you guys, face to face, or me just doing what I normally do on iMovie or whatever, and doing those kind of videos. But see y'all. eBay Predictions is out. Like, comment, and subscribe.